How's everybody doing? This is June Boxing IMO, in my opinion. How you guys doing? Um, Actually, there's a lot of glare in my glasses because I'm actually doing research for another video. But I came across something that really kind of rang my bell a little. Well, a lot, actually. Um, and it's the whole pay-per-view thing. Wilder and Ortiz. I think this is just a video game fight. You can clearly see that it looks like it's Mr. Sandman against Bob Charlie, I guess. You know, it doesn't look like a real fight. I don't really even want to. I'm not planning on buying the fight. To be honest with you, I'm gonna stream it for free. I'm not going to lie. Um, I don't think pay-per-view is even worth it anymore. I think the prices are ridiculous. Then again, with inflation and the way the country and the politics, which I'm not gonna get into, that plays a little part in it too. But I don't really with YouTube and all the types of streaming services. I can just wait for the fight to be over, wait like maybe 30 minutes and catch the fight on YouTube. I'm not saying don't buy the fight. What I'm saying is, this is not a fight that I would pay for. Period. You know. I mean, unless the undercard is better than the actual main card, but right now, I don't think pay per view right now for this particular fight, which is Wilder versus Ortiz too. I think there were too many politics in that fight, too many boxing politics, and I think the fans, Wilder's fans, and mind you, I've said this before, I'm not a Wilder fan. I take nothing away from his persona outside of the ring, but I think inside the ring, he's just a one-headed bum, and that's just my opinion. You know, I don't really think that the promoters want to make fights; they just want to make money, and even that's always been true in boxing. They were making back in the day, they were making money by making great fights. Regardless of what you think of Don King, he kind of put up some of the best fights in the '80s and early '90s. But we've strayed away from certain things like that. And yes, I referenced Don King because just because the apple is bad doesn't mean you can't make vinegar out of it. So you know, it's the way that it is. I can say all I want, but to be honest, there's nothing anybody's gonna say. Well, June said, and I think we should listen. This is just my opinion. And moving past Ortiz, who I hope pulls an upset. I'm gonna be yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. I hope that Ortiz pulls out an upset and really destroy the face of the heavyweight division, and really put a brand new face up and see, okay, now what, because all the top three, and I'm including Ruiz. These guys right now, all three of them now have to prove themselves as the number one. That they claim they are. You know, um, Again, with the speaking a little bit on Ruiz and Joshua too, you saw the politics on that. I want to go here, I want to fight there, this, that, and third. Back then it didn't matter. Back then was, yo, when are we gonna fight? I'm training. When is the fight? It didn't matter where. And yeah, I'm happy Saudi Arabia got it. I'm not gonna complain about that, but I think that should have been set up a long time ago. I think that should have already been in the contract. If you ask for a rematch clause, I think you should have already had the place where you were going to have the rematch at instead of dragging it out this long. That's my opinion. Um, Tyson Fury, his Fury in my, his Fury, yes, and his career as a boxer, I think might be coming to a very um unseen end for him. But I think he knows this. I think he knows he's going. This is as far as he can go, and maybe he may have maybe three more fights in him if he stays healthy and keeps that eye healthy. Because we all know what happened to Antonio Margarito, even though he deserved it. But we know, when Cotto beat that eye to a pulp after Manny Pacquiao destroyed it, he never got back in the ring. So, you know, as much as you want to get in the ring, sometimes your body tells you, well, I just can't do it anymore. You know. Um, this is pretty much going to the BS fans. Don't don't bandwagon. You know, don't bandwagoning is pretty much like, you know, being a hypocrite. You know, I don't think anybody watching it right now is a hypocrite, you know, in my opinion. And if you're gonna if you're gonna rep someone, rep. You know, I'm an Eagles fan. Enough said. Trust me, it's not easy being an Eagles fan at all. You know, we're 1-2 right now, and our division rivals are 3-0. So imagine how we feel. But that's football. What I'm saying is, you don't see me going crazy. You know, it's I don't bet on sports. You know, so if you're a betting person, then I understand your frustrations because losing money is nothing, not even I like to do. But at the same time, you also have to understand that your loyalty as a fan has to have a limit. You know, you shouldn't argue with other people or fight with people or even get to a point where you end up in jail because of you know, your loyalty towards a boxer. You know, your loyalty should be to the sport, not to the boxers alone. The boxers are part of the sport, and you know, part of the sport is the politics, are the fans, are the fighters, the commentators, the announcers, the trainers, the cut men, you know, all that, even the card girls. All that, believe it or not, has a one whole long process, you know. And these are things that we don't see, we don't get a chance to look at, you know. And I just think that it's getting to a point where it's just BS, you know, it's BS loyalty, BS fan loyalty. And I think that's what's leading to pay-per-view no longer being what it is, because as ironic as it sounds, these BS fans are also the ones who went into streaming and stuff like that, you know. And I'm not gonna knock them for that because I stream also. So it's like I said, even though I may have my opinions about people, it doesn't mean that we are completely different. So in any shape, way, or form, do I dislike or hate any of the or what I'm considering a BS fan? I'm just calling it how I see it. But if you can prove me wrong, then by all means, please do so, because I like learning. There's nothing wrong with learning, and I wish that the boxing community and the boxing sport as a whole can actually understand that all this pleasantry and you know, I got the belts and you know, I want to go here, or I'm going to fight this guy first, and cherry picking going wrong. You know, I think we should really take a good look at the 80s and the early 90s of the heavyweight division, and understand that back then, you know, you got in the ring for pennies on the dollar, but your fame and your legacy are what still stand. So it's not about how much you hit, it's how much you can get hit and keep moving forward. Rocky Balboa. This is June. This is Boxing IMO. Like and subscribe if you already haven't. Leave your comments and your opinions right down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.